Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I'm going to be ranking 14 new makeup items that I have tested recently. So typically I do these at the end of every single month, but in December, I didn't actually try anything new until about the 24th. So these products are from the tail end of December and all of January. I also wanted to mention I tried a ton of lip products in the month of January. I don't know what happened. But I tried a ton, and instead of including them in this video, which would make this video so long, I decided I'm going to do a new lip product roundup video. So you should see that fairly soon, but that will give you my thoughts on all of the new lip products that I've tried recently. So let's just rank the 14 other makeup items I tried this month. Coming in at number 14 is actually from Stila. This is the Blush and Bronze Hydra Blur Cheek Duo. I had such high hopes for this. I have this one in the shade Apricot and Golden, and I don't actually find that this is a bad product. Here are the two different shades here. We have Apricot, Golden. The blush is very, very beautiful, and the bronzer is pretty as well. It's a little warmer than I would typically like, but I just found the bronzer was a little bit more challenging to blend out for some reason. I definitely found that I should not have drawn directly on the skin and tried to blend it out. That definitely made it a little more challenging. Taking it with a brush definitely works a lot better. But overall, I just didn't seem to love this as much as I thought I would. I do love the blush, but because I really only love half the product, I decided to put it at number 14. I don't use a ton of stick products in general. I do think that's going to be a trend for 2024 though. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that this coming year, so I might find myself reaching for this more at some point. But overall, I like the blush a lot, just the bronzer really isn't my favorite. Coming in at number 13 is from Viseart, and this is the Petite Fours Tyrian. And this is what the color story looks like. I do have a full review up of this one and the other quad that launched with it. I should also mention that from this point on, I like pretty much everything in this ranking. So this was kind of challenging to rank these products, but for this one, I just put it kind of near the bottom because the color story just isn't one I'm going to reach for as much. I'll still reach for it. I still think it's beautiful. I still think the formula is great. I mean, this isn't going to be my most used color story, so that's kind of why I put it near the bottom. I do think this color story is beautiful. I do wish maybe that the purple was a touch lighter, but again, that's just my preferences based on my own skin tone. So it's the smallest criticism. I think this is beautiful. It's just not going to be my most reached for. So for that reason, I did put this one at number 13. Coming in at number 12 is from Colourpop, and this is the 1111 palette. I think this is very, very pretty. And this palette was at the forefront of my mind for the longest time. I wasn't going to pick it up because the color story reminded me so much of the I Need a Nude from Natasha Denona, and I of course have these shades in my collection many times over. But something just kept telling me to grab this, and I still think it's absolutely stunning. It's definitely one I will reach for and enjoy. But I think what I don't love is that this one shade here is actually a pressed glitter, so I'm not going to get a ton of use out of that. And then some of these other shimmers just seemed really lackluster to me. I think this palette is really, really pretty. It's a really beautiful color story, and I do love Colourpop. I really do. It's just that the shimmers in here were a little more lackluster, and I just like a little more pop sometimes. So for that reason, this one is at number 12. I still think it's really beautiful. Coming in at number 11 is from Nars, and this is their Afterglow Irresistible palette. This came out right before Christmas, and I think it's super beautiful. The problem is that this is probably one of the most repetitive color stories I've ever seen from Nars. As we know, they do tend to release a very similar color story over and over and over again, and this one just seemed even more so to me. But the outer packaging is stunning, and the formula is so good. It's so beautiful. I do absolutely love NARS eyeshadow formula, and I think that's why I go for it every single time. I do like to review all of their new launches, but this one just seemed so repetitive and compared to things I had purchased within the last year. So for that reason, I put this one at number 11. It's not bad at all. The formula is great. I think especially if you have textured or mature lids, the Nars formula is one that you're going to really appreciate because it is such a smooth, easy to work with formula, and it's just very, very flattering. It's just that, again, this was a very, very repetitive color story from Nars. So I did put this one at the bottom, but the formula did not disappoint. Coming in at number 10 is the other Viseart quad that launched last month. This is the Petite Force Praline Épicée. And this one I love because I do love the Viseart formula, of course. But this color story is definitely one I'm going to reach for frequently. I have reached for it quite a few times since I reviewed this. I think it's absolutely stunning. I mean, I think I put it a little bit lower just because it's nothing unique in my collection. Did I need to order this? No. But I wanted to, and I do really like it and I really enjoy it. So the formula is great, looks beautiful, looks stunning on the lids. So I am glad I picked it up, but it is at number 10 just because it really doesn't add anything to my collection. Again, because for the most part, I had such good luck with all of my products, I had to be really, really picky and get into those types of factors when ranking these products. So just keep that in mind. But coming in at number 9 is from Natasha Denona, and this is the Berry Pop Cheek Trio. So she did release this and a lipstick and a lip liner. They will be in the lip product roundup video, but I did review this cheek trio. And first of all, the outer packaging is so beautiful. The formulas in here are stunning. So this cream blush feels kind of like, it's like a cream to powder, and it's a beautiful, blendable, easy to work with formula. This tinted glow cream base, one of you told me that this is actually meant to go under the highlight, which is brilliant. I tried it like that and it looks stunning. This can also work as a blush on me as well, and then the highlight is a little deep for me, but it's beautiful. The reason this one is ranking at number 9 is because this probably isn't the best blush shade for my skin tone. It's just a little deep for me. It's not bad though. I can make it work, and I absolutely will because I think these shades are stunning. And I was so happy to see Natasha come out with a cheek trio that is going to work on deeper skin tones. I think this trio will be so stunning on deeper skin tones, and I was so happy to see that. I love the formulas in here. They're absolutely amazing. This isn't going to be my most reach for again because a lot of the shades are just a little too deep for me. However, the formulas are amazing and I can make them work, so I will enjoy this little trio as well. Coming in at number 8 is a product that I went back and forth on so many times as to whether or not I was going to pick it up. And this is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. I have the shade Dusty Rosé, and this is such a pretty blush color. I do believe I have a short using this one, so this is what the color looks like. Absolutely beautiful. Such an easy neutral shade to work with, and this is interesting to me because I don't wear a lot of liquid blush at all. And for the longest time, I refused to buy the Rare Beauty liquid blushes because I don't like liquid blush. Why would I buy that? And finally, I got convinced to at least try a mini. And I agree, the formula is wonderful. It's incredibly long wearing, incredibly pigmented. And then, of course, these came out. Everybody's swearing they're a dupe for Rare Beauty. I'm still gathering my thoughts on that. But so far, my thoughts on this are that while it's pigmented, it's not quite so aggressively pigmented as the Rare Beauty, so that you need to be super duper careful with how much you use. I think this is very blendable. This is very easy to work with. It looks beautiful on the cheeks, and I really love this shade in particular. I think it's a beautiful shade. I also found this did wear quite a long time on me, so I was very impressed by the longevity. I was really impressed by this. This kind of does make me want to reach for those more cream products a little bit more. I typically, as somebody with dry skin, do reach for more cream products in the wintertime because my skin is so dry. I live in a cold climate. All the factors are against me, so I do enjoy cream products as a way to give my skin just a little bit more hydration. So I think this is one that's going to get a fair bit of love over the next few months of winter. Coming in at number 7 is a foundation from e.l.f. This is the Camo Hydrating CC Cream. So this is supposed to be full coverage, long lasting with a dewy finish, and this also has SPF 30. I have the shade Fair 120N, and first of all, I love the packaging. I love a squeezy tube with a pump. I don't know what it is that I love so much about that, but I just love a squeezy tube with a pump. I think this is a really, really nice foundation. I would say it gives a high medium coverage, and it does feel nice on the skin. It does feel very lightweight. It is very, very blendable. It does have a slight glow to it, but overall, I really enjoy this. I do like something with a slight glow, but when it dries down, it doesn't feel tacky. I appreciate that as well. I really like this. I think this is a great drugstore foundation. I think this was, it wasn't very much, it was maybe around $10. So I was really, really impressed with that. I have really been enjoying using this, so I will definitely continue to reach for it and enjoy it. So we definitely had 2 wins from e.l.f. this month. I think this is great. If you haven't tried this already, if you do have dry skin, I think this is a really nice one. Coming in at number 6 is from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is her Queen of Luck Luxury Quad. So I do like to review all of Charlotte Tilbury's quads, and this was the first one in a long time that she had released. So this is a beautiful quad. This actually reminded me of her Celestial Pearl quad that she released a couple of holidays ago. There are some small differences, but overall they were quite similar. I think this one is beautiful. I think if you need a lot of depth or you just want a lot of depth, I would definitely pass on this, but I think it's so, so, so beautiful. I love this quad. I love the beautiful shine that it gives to the lids. It just looks so beautiful and glowy, but effortless, and all of the things that I want from a Charlotte Tilbury quad. On one hand, I can kind of see why someone might suggest that it's a little boring. I do get that. But I personally think it's absolutely stunning. So I really, really love this. I do agree her quads are absolutely bananas overpriced, but I do think this is super, super beautiful, and I really love this, and this is another one I've reached for quite a few times. Absolutely love this one. Coming in at number 5 is from Natasha Denona, and this is the My Mini Dream Glow Blush. I love this. This is really, really beautiful. So it does have that same My Dream packaging. It's got that soft touch matte feel. Inside you get 2 different shades of blush and a highlight, so you can use them individually or mix them all together. I tend to mix the blushes together and then use the highlight separately, but you can of course do whatever it is you want. I love this. This shade of blush is beautiful and flattering and just easy to work with. Even the highlighter is beautiful. So I really, really love this. Again, it's just super blendable, looks super flawless on the cheeks, looks almost airbrushed, which is exactly what I go for. I absolutely love this. And the tone of it is just neutral enough that it tends to work with everything. So I'm really, really enjoying this blush. And coming in at number 4 is a new concealer that was launched this month. This is the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer. So I did review the foundation when it came out last year, and I think initially I quite liked it. I had some reservations that I didn't quite love, just in the fact that I found it didn't dry down all the way and it just felt a little bit tacky on the skin. I just didn't love that. Also, the shade range I found pulled a bit yellow, so I didn't love that. And then as I've continued to use the foundation, I'm finding that it's wearing off kind of strange. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what's going on there. But when she released the concealer, I was really excited. And one thing she did differently with concealers is the shade range. Has a lot more cooler tone options, so I'm really happy about that. I had the shade 1C1 and I have been really loving this concealer. I do have a full wear test of this one. This just has the tiniest little doe foot. I think it's so nice. It just feels really soft under the eyes. It's just a perfect shape. It's not too pointy. I really, really like this. This blends out so easily. It is, I would say it's hydrating, but it's not so hydrating that it creases like crazy. And it gives you like a really nice medium coverage. It really just makes you look awake and pulled together. It's a really, really beautiful concealer. It's very lightweight as well. I've really been enjoying this. This also lasts all day. There is no concealer that is truly, truly crease proof, but there are concealers that are a little more crease resistant. And I would say this is one of them. This is just a really beautiful medium coverage, lightweight, long wearing formula that just looks beautiful on the skin, and I've really been enjoying this one. And coming in at number 3 is another concealer that was released around the same time. It's actually really not fair to put them at the 3 and 4 spot. I would say they're still kind of competing with each other a little bit, but this is the Fenty We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. This one, I was excited to see something new from Fenty. I was also kind of giving this one the side eye a little bit because hydrating and longwear, they usually don't go hand in hand. This one also claimed to be crease proof, so that got a little bit of an eye roll. I don't know why. It bothers me when companies say their concealer is crease proof because none of them are. If you have lines, it's going to crease. But like I said, some of them are crease resistant, more so than others. And I would say that is true for this. So first of all, the component is really very pretty. This is not one that you're going to stand up because the bottom does come to a point, but it is one that if you lay it on your desk, it's not going to roll off. So points for that. The applicator on this one is also a little bit unique. It's definitely a lot more slanted, which is also kind of nice for getting in there. I should also mention I do have the shade 120N. This one is much more full coverage than the Laura Mercier, but it also does not feel very heavy. It feels quite lightweight. It does feel very hydrating as well. And this also does wear all day long. So I do notice when I'm putting this on, I'm blending it out, and then I do a couple of other things, it does crease. But then I just powder it and then I am good for the rest of the day. It really does wear all day long and it looks beautiful. It gives me that coverage that I want. So I've really been enjoying this. I think this is a good one. I know I put these two at 3 and 4 respectively, but I truly don't know which one I like better yet. I've been going back and forth the whole time I've been preparing for this video, trying to figure out which one of these I like best because I really don't know. Today it's the Fenty, tomorrow it could be the Laura Mercier, but they're both really incredible concealers. Coming at number 2 is a foundation I did not expect to love. This is the Kylie Cosmetics Power Plush Longwear Foundation. I have the shade 2C. So I've never reviewed anything from this brand. I've never even tried anything from this brand. I was not expecting to love this, but something about this foundation. I had heard people say the concealer in this line was good, but something about this, I saw the packaging, I heard the call outs, and I thought it just sounds really, really nice. I wore this for like a week straight when I got it because it is a solid medium coverage, but it is buildable, so you can really cover everything up if you want to. It does have a matte dry down, but it's not uncomfortably matte. It's more like a satin, in my opinion. It does not feel tacky, so if you have dry skin and you don't want to powder, you don't have to with this, which I love. The shade on this is perfect. It's 2C. It's meant to be a cooler tone, and it is. It's beautiful. It also just wore all day long. It kept everything covered that I wanted covered. So I have been absolutely loving this foundation. I reached for it so many times. In my review, I compared this to the Haus Labs, which is actually the one I'm wearing today. I do think the Haus Labs offers a little bit more coverage, but I do still really, really, really love this. I'm very pleasantly surprised with this foundation. And coming in at number 1 is truly no surprise. This is from Natasha Denona. This is the My Mini Dream palette. First of all, I love her minis, and I love a neutral color story. This is also neutral leaning cool. For me, this reminded me quite a bit of the I Need a Nude palette, which was also a huge favorite. This reminded me of an extension of that one, and I think that's part of why I love it so much. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's easy to work with. You really don't have to put any thought into it. I know some palettes ranked a little bit lower because their color story didn't offer anything special to my collection, but the formula on this, I'm telling you, Natasha has my absolute favorite eyeshadow formula. I like it more than Viseart. I like it more than Colourpop. I like it more than any other formula in my collection. So even though this color story might not be the most unique, put together, this is my perfect color story in my most favorite formula. So I like that this one pulls a little bit more cool. I do love some cool tones, and I just love this palette. These two shades are both just her standard metallic formulas. This middle shade here is the creamiest metallic. It's so beautiful. I love this palette. It's already taken a lot of love for me, so I had to give the number 1 spot just based on the fact that it's my favorite formula and the amount of times that I've reached for it. So the top spot absolutely goes to Natasha Denona. And that is it. Those are the 14 non-lip product items I tried in December and January. Let me know down below if you tried any of these. What are your thoughts? Did I forget any? Let me know that too. But that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!